Welcome to the Fitness After 40 podcast. I'm your host, Josh Proch, and I'm here again with my wife and co-owner and business partner, Tammy Proch. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about recommitting to fitness here back as the new year starts. A lot of people, that's one of their goals, is getting back into shape and stuff. So we're going to give you guys some tips on how to do that and everything, because I know this time of year is a little crazy for people. I know it's been crazy for us the last few weeks with running around doing stuff, but still been able to get out and have a few beers and enjoy some fun times like that and stuff too. So we went and checked out.
We have?
Yeah, we went and checked out Subaru's new rooftop bar and some stuff like that. So maybe not as much as we'd like to, but
this is true.
So yeah, I mean, getting back into fitness and stuff is definitely something that we see a lot. First of the year, people, it's a kind of like a resolution kind of thing. But one of the things that I would say is probably, if you're able to start now, start making some changes here before the first of the year, instead of, putting it off until January 2nd, and give yourself a little jump start if you can, if you're, traveling these next, few weeks and things like that. That might make it a little bit more challenging, but, as you're getting into it, one of the things that we see is a lot of people, they get too, over ambitious in the beginning, and they're coming to the gym every day, they're working out, and they're almost going too hard and trying to go too fast, and we see them burn out. And slowing down, shooting for somewhere between 2 and 4 days a week is a better place to start, and then slowly build up from there. And what are some things that you see them doing?
I think the biggest thing people beat themselves up about that I see is it's that all or nothing mentality. If they can't get into the gym, like if they're typically going 3 to 4 days a week, and because of the holiday season or whatever, that they can only get in twice, they beat themselves up and feel guilty instead of just stepping back and realizing, like, this isn't a sprint. This is a race, or I'm sorry, a marathon. Like you're in it for the long haul. There isn't a starting and ending date on fitness and health. It's a lifestyle that has to be continued until end of life. But there's no perfection in it either. Like there's things that come up in life that are going to derail you and take your focus away, and that's okay. You're not undoing your results. You're not undoing everything. It's just you do the best you can, and if you get in 2 days a week and you have some parties that you ate and drank more than you should, that's okay. But the days you're not at those parties, focus on eating protein and fiber and getting your water in, getting your sleep. Like, it's not about doing everything perfect. It's about doing the best you can and not going off the wagon 10 days in a row. That catches up to you pretty badly on the scale, and just with hangover wise, whether it's a food hangover or alcohol hangover, it's just realizing that there's no perfection. It's just every day you do the best you can, and if you truly can't get something in that day, it's okay, because tomorrow's a new day, and you'll get to it.
And there's going to be weeks where you just you may only be able to get one workout in, or not any.
Absolutely. I mean, or just walk. Like, it's beautiful today, so if you can't, just try to walk as much as you can. That'll keep you through until you're able to maybe focus. Because I mean, let's face it, our weather around here, January, there's nothing else to do besides work out. Well, I guess you could drink, but that's not going to help you get back into shape.
But and that's stuff that people can do right now is start walking and things, even if they are traveling and things like that. Just because I know one of the things that we hear a lot of times is like, oh, I need to get in shape before I come to the gym. And, we're kind of like, well, that's what the gym's here for, is to help you get into shape. But if that is you, and you're like, hey, you're planning on getting started with a fitness plan and stuff in January, but you don't want to, you're afraid, like, are you going to be able to do it and stuff. Now, one of the things that you could do is start walking each day. Maybe start doing some just bodyweight squats and push-ups, or just some light stuff when you can, and then come January you start to push the gas a little bit harder on that. But
and when you walk into a gym to start if you are starting from scratch, like, don't compare yourself to other people, because you have no idea where they were at the first day they walked in. Like, you might be comparing yourself to somebody, oh, I can't do what they're doing, but maybe they've been there 6 years, and you will someday, you'll be that person. But we all start this journey at different times in our lives, and you can't compare yourself to where the other person next to you is. And yeah, sure, maybe they're able to squat heavier than you, but maybe you can do more push-ups. I mean, there's just all kinds of things. But again, if you're coming in, I see that a lot with people that are newer to the gym and haven't been exercising, strength training before. They start to beat themselves up and feel bad about themselves because I can't keep up with everybody. That's not what this is about. This isn't a competition. We're not CrossFit. We're here to help everybody. And it's just, you compete with yourself, and if you see yourself progressing and getting better every day, that's what it's about. It's not about catching up to Jane Smith or whatever, because you'll get there.
It's just about being healthier and being in it for the long term too. And that's where I think, when you see a lot of people just tend to be all or nothing, and they make these hard sprints on it, but then they just burn themselves out. They get injuries, or from overdoing it.
Yeah, and you can be in phenomenal shape, but maybe there's an exercise that is in there that day that's just not for you. Or maybe, we joke all the time, once you leave your 30s, there's always something that hurts. You get up in the morning, it's like, why is my knee hurt? Or why is my elbow or shoulder? It's just, and it might not be the right thing for you that day. Maybe you're not strong enough. Maybe you haven't worked up to that exercise yet. Or it could just be like, this isn't for me today. But next week you'll tackle it and be fine at it. Like, it's just, listen to everyone just is so hard on themselves when it comes to stuff, and it's just like, come in, do your best, and that's all you can do. Yeah.
That's all we ask. Yeah, and that's a win. That's progress.
And that's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely for people that are just getting started, start out, make your goal. If you've never done this, make the goal 2 times a week. I think it's a good place for a lot of people, and we can build them up to 3 and 4. For current members that maybe between Thanksgiving and now the last month, you've kind of fallen off a little bit, maybe not into your regular routine as much, only getting in a day or two, and you had been 3 or 4 days, work on getting back to that here in January. And nutrition's another thing. I mean, as people are kind of recommitting to their fitness, what are just like some simple starting places that you would recommend someone starts with? Because again, nutrition can be super overwhelming. There's a lot of different schools of thought. You hear a lot of people like, oh, I'm going to start this diet or this plan or whatever in January, and I mean, all those are kind of setting them up for failure long term. But
listen, you can look at it this 2 ways, that all diets work or all diets fail, and both are correct. Everyone is different and find that different things work for them. But I like to help my clients, like, it's not a diet. We're finding out what works. The one thing they all have in common is it creates a calorie deficit. And that's basically what works, whether it's keto, paleo, vegan, whatever it is. If you're looking for weight loss and that worked for you, it worked because it created a calorie deficit. So that can take many different avenues, and it's what works in your lifestyle. But also, like, to survive through the holidays, it's like, just realize, like, listen, life's short, and it goes by in a blink of an eye. So when you have family get-togethers or parties, whatever, enjoy yourself. Like, don't go in feeling like, oh, I can't have a drink or I can't have some of those appetizers. You should be able to, have those in moderation. Don't go to those parties. A lot of people make the mistake of starving themselves until they get to the party, and then it's just this gorging and binging, and fill yourself up again with protein and vegetables. My people get sick and tired of me talking about, but that is so key, is protein and vegetables.
We were just talking earlier today. You said probably the biggest thing that people focus on is just getting their protein goals in each day, and start there. Like, it's almost like step 1.
Yeah, people struggle with that the most. I mean, it's hard because you don't have it's easier to grab a banana versus a chicken breast laying around. But I mean, there are ways to sneak around that with, like, Greek yogurt or a protein shake. Protein bars aren't the worst thing, and you just have to be careful because a lot of times they're glorified candy bars. But just making sure you get that protein in, and vegetables, and then go to your party and feel good about what you're doing. Sample whatever you want. Be mindful of what you're eating. And also don't go in with that mindset of like, oh, I got to eat a bunch of these because I can't do this again until next year.
Yeah.
Like, that sets you up for failure too. So just go in and you can have any of these foods. Any of these foods fit in your calorie goal. It's just some foods have higher calories, so you're not going to be able to eat as much. You're going to be able to have much more food with a salad versus mac and cheese, right? You know, the mac and cheese is more comforting and satiating, but it can still have a place, just not every day and not, you know, 5 bowlfuls. It's just kind of common sense when it comes to that. So just kind of taking a step back, and it's really not complicated, but it's not easy either, because, you know, everybody wants that quick fix, and believe me, if it ever comes about, I'll be first in line. But it's just, you know, slow and steady, just kind of figuring out what foods help you feel good. Some people don't feel great on milk. They have lactose sensitivities or intolerances. Some people are fine with it. So, you know, some clients, Greek yogurt's a saving grace for them. Others, they just can't tolerate the consistency or whatever. So it's just finding the foods that work for you.
Yeah. And, you know, as you guys, you know, are coming through the holidays here, and as you are starting back, you know, we're here to help you. If you need help, nutrition, fitness, things like that, that's what we're here for. And we can, you know, help you figure out what the right plan, right path of action is for you. In fact, for our members, you know, we were talking this morning, we're going to do a little bit of a recommit to fit challenge here in January. That's going to be a free challenge, but it's included in with their memberships and everything. But just different things that we're, you know, working on getting them to do each day over the 30, I guess it'd be 31 days in January, but just getting them to help them get back on track and pick back up and get back into the lifestyle and create it as a lifestyle. So I think as you guys are hearing this, it'll probably be right before Christmas. So we hope you all have a great Christmas and Happy New Year and all that sort of stuff. But if you need anything, you know, feel free to reach out. Let us know. We're here to help you. So thanks for listening today, and we will talk to you here next week. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and rate and review us.